All right, so for English 4, our first unit, our unit 1, is titled Standing Out in a Crowd. Okay, so we are going to be writing personal statements. These personal statements could be something that you use for a job application or a college essay, and they really need to reflect who you are, because whether you're applying for a job with 30 candidates or applying to a college with thousands of candidates, you need to be able to write about yourself in a way that's clear but also brings out your best qualities, makes you stand out in a crowd. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to talk about the vocab for this unit. We have 3 terms that we're going to be focusing on. The first one is narrative details. Okay, so a narrative is basically just a story. So narrative details are details that describe actions and events. Okay, so if something is happening or if it takes place at a certain venue, those are narrative details. The narrative details are going to keep the story moving. So a lot of times if you're writing and you feel like you're getting stuck, it may be because you haven't moved the story forward. You're only focused on one section. It also provides landmarks, time frames, etc. So if you're thinking about telling someone a story, they need to be able to know where you were and what happened. So it's not going to work for you to say, I was at a building at the place I always go on Saturdays, right? You need to say, I was at the bank near my house with my best friend on Saturday when, and then fill in those gaps. So narrative details describe the actions and events of your story. Okay, the second thing we're going to talk about are your descriptive details. These are details that describe people, places, and things, okay? So basically nouns, but these are the ones that help the readers visualize or see the story. So instead of just saying the girl walked in and she was upset, maybe you say that the girl dragged her feet in, she had tears running down her face, and Kleenex hanging out of her sleeves, right? That's going to tell us that she's not walking fast, so like physically she's moving slow. You can see on her face that she has been crying, and you can see that she's got tissues falling out of her sleeves, so maybe she's been crying a lot. Those are important details because those are the things that make stories interesting. Those are going to be that's how you connect with your audience. Instead of just telling them, you're showing them what you want them to see. The third thing we're going to look at are your sensory details, okay? So these are details that apply to the 5 senses, and remember that those are sound, touch, taste, sight, and smell. So basically, if you were eating in a bakery, I should be able to smell and taste that bread in my mouth. If you are standing in a landfill, I should be able to smell it and see all of the junk that's surrounding you. Okay? Anything that you can touch and has a texture to it, describe that. Anything that has a very crisp image to it, tell me about it. Anything that I can hear and it's going to resonate as I'm thinking about it, that would be a sensory detail to include. Now these details are going to help you as you're writing your personal statements because they're going to get that reader interested in what you have to say. You could be the best person in the world, have everything going for you, or you could have overcome something really, really terrible, but if you can't get me to understand what you want me to know through your writing, then I'm going to check out and your story won't matter. So your narrative details, your descriptive details, and your sensory details are going to help you in your writing your personal statements.